Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be disassembling this old 2012 Lenovo laptop because I feel this laptop is so slow, especially as I already mentioned that this was made in 2012 and had the standard Intel i5 chip, which was standard at the time. So now let's disassemble this laptop. So now we are going to take off the back cover of this laptop. We already unscrewed all of the screws holding in this back. This is the battery for this laptop. The battery is what keeps the laptop working even after it is not plugged in to power. This cable connects the battery to the motherboard. If you disconnect the other end of this cable, which is actually a connector to the motherboard, then you can easily replace this battery and reconnect the connector of the new battery. This is a Wi-Fi connector. It lets this laptop connect to the internet, Wi-Fi, and all sorts of wireless data that was not available in the past. As we've taken apart this back cover, it seems like that there's basically nothing wrong with this computer, other than the fact that it has a very dirty fan over here. So it has all of the basic parts of a laptop quite clearly. Like here's a hard drive, though most new laptops have a solid state drive instead. Since this is an older laptop, it uses the old standard of a not a solid state drive, it's a hard drive. And it has the DVD drive, which basically nothing has now. For example, I could replace this 512 gigabyte hard drive I have here, which was built into my laptop, with a 1 terabyte one compatible with this laptop. It must be compatible, otherwise non-built-in RAM, so you could actually increase the RAM by switching out this RAM. All you gotta do to remove the RAM is put your 2 fingers on both sides and do this. There. Then you could just remove the RAM and switch it out, for example, an 8 gigabyte one with a 16 gigabyte one. It's useful when you want more RAM. I need to replace this RAM at a 45-degree angle. So I need to do it like this. And push it down. There. Over here, under this black cooling mechanism, is the CPU, the main part of this computer. Without it, this computer will not work at all. As I already mentioned, probably, the Intel Core i5 is the CPU under the heat sink. This is a heat sink connected with the cooling fan to cool down the CPU. Otherwise, it'll slow down tasks too much. However, I already noticed that it isn't working too well, as my laptop overheats way too often, even in the most basic of tasks, like opening a website. Over here, we have this external battery. What this battery does is make sure the time does not get inaccurate after not getting power when the computer shuts down. When the computer shuts down, basically everything loses power and the power is cut from the main battery. This extra battery is used to make sure the time does not get too cluttered up after the main battery gets turned off by shutting down the computer. So that means the time won't get inaccurate every time you go back on and back off the computer, so you don't have to change it all the time. It'll just stay constant and accurate. Over here is the headphone jack and an area where you can connect a external speaker if you want to. These two are USB-A ports. They could connect the widest range of accessories you can buy, considering they're an industry standard at this point. This is an HDMI port. You could connect a lot of things to it, like a separate monitor or whatever that uses, some kind of display technology. This is an Ethernet port, where you can get better wired connection Ethernet. However, you need an Ethernet cable first and some actual internet, like some kind of internet. And here is the charging port, where it's a standard in all laptops as they absolutely need it, considering it charges the battery and powers the laptop. Over here is a cooling area that's outside of the interior of the laptop, because this is where the laptop uses the fan over here to suck up air from outside, cool it down using the fan, and send it to the CPU to cool it down. Over here at the only port at the front of this laptop is an SD camera. You could remove the SD card and plug it in here in this slot to see all of your photos and videos that you've taken with that camera, and you could upload them or do whatever you want with them. If the DVD player on this laptop isn't working, I could just disconnect and replace. If you want to disconnect the DVD drive from this laptop, you have to disconnect the DVD drive from the main board. When you pull this blue strip upward, the connector will open. Then you can pull the cable out. Now, I'm going to unscrew this. You can also separate the cable and the circuitry that comes with it from the DVD drive too, like this. As you can see, it's actually a port for this circuitry. The cable to connect it with the other main circuitry, and the port and the actual DVD drive. Now, I'm going to reassemble my laptop again.